Man, so to keep it 100 with you, I woke up at 5 o'clock 7 days a week for the first 2 years I was out of the military because I just felt like I needed to stay in tune. I didn't want to lose it. Then 5 became 5:30, became 5:45, but at 7 days a week I'm up about 6:30.
Okay.
So
Gradually progressing backwards.
yeah, man, I'm not bullshitting too much, but I'm trying to keep it together. But anyways, welcome back to Talk Smack with Mac. It's gonna be a badass episode. I got SkyDirects and Busy Bee in this motherfucker right now. They're gonna be talking all their good shit, and we're gonna be breaking down Run Nixon, man. The film coming up, about to be dropping soon. I had the pleasure of having a small role in it. It was one hell of a time, man. But yeah, man, how you guys doing?
Man, doing great. We blessed.
Bless, man. Bless, man.
I know that's right, man. So, Sky, I want to start with you. You sent me this article yesterday. He was like, hey, man, if you want to know a little bit about my story. I read it. I was like, holy fuck, this dude been around the block a couple times and really worked with some people and done some shit.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did you get started in this industry?
My first launch was with Nick Cannon. I was doing my pops got me this camera called a Canon XL2. And I was, he wanted me to film for his radio station. It was crazy enough. And I was like, Pops, I'm trying to get in the industry, man. I ain't trying to be going all the way to Ontario to film at a radio station. So he was like, so I think he got me the camera to really work for him. But
Yeah.
he knew he couldn't put the bird in the cage. I had to go out there and fly on my own wings. But I had a friend of the family named Big Dave. And I hit him up. I was like, Dave, I got this camera. I'm trying to just film. Just let me know what you got going on. I know you bodyguard for Nick Cannon. He's a big Samoan dude. He was like, all right, bet I'll let you know what's up. 3 months, 6 months passed by. He gave me a phone call like, yo, can you be down in L.A. at this time? Nick Cannon's doing his season 2 Wildin' Out. I was like, all right, bet I'll be there. So I hit the freeway, rode out. And I was there with a camera. I had no direction. He just made sure I got onto the lot with no questions asked, and it was just up to me to make sure whatever I wanted to do was what I wanted to do. And I was like, man, I ain't leaving this place until someone would tell me to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I was there filming behind the scenes of Wildin' Out, and then I ran into this dude named Anthony Cherry, and he was a hairstylist, and he was doing all the girls' hair and makeup in the back. And he was like, "What you here for?" I'm like, "Man, I'm just here to film." He was like, "Okay, bet, let's do something." I was like, all right, let's do it. He was like, I want to do like where I can interview the guests that's on the show. I was like, let's do it. So we started filming like Pretty Ricky and everybody that was coming on, all the guests. And that was my thing for that day. Like literally that was what I was doing. Then I went back home and I would edit it and put it up. And you could go to YouTube right now and type in, I don't know, Wild Out Season 2, you'll see the interviews. But I was filming it and I go back home and I edit it. And I thought I got in trouble because I got a phone call from Nick Cannon's assistant, Danielle. She was like, hey, Nick wants to meet with you because he seen what you got going on YouTube. Like it went kind of viral because back then YouTube was kind of small. So she said, come back to the Relapse Studios and meet with him. So I met with him and he sat down. He was just asking me what's going on, what you doing. I was like, man, I'm just here to just make it. I got a camera. I'm just trying to get into the film industry. He was like, man, I like your hustle, man. Let me take you under my wings. I was like, bet. So from there, that was my door opener, man. He took me under his wings and I was working with Nick for like 2 years, man, just going on the road with him, filming everything he had going on. And then that just led to how doors open up in Hollywood. When you with him, everybody's asking like I want him too. So and then I just met some other people but that was my first like foot in the industry was with Nick.
You gotta have some balls to show up on there on set and just start filming and have that confidence.
Yeah, I was more like a kid without, like, because if you take an adult and put them in a company that knows everything, they gonna act like they know everything. I was more open-minded, so I was free to just. I knew I didn't want to leave and get kicked out, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna just do me and hold this camera because nobody else is out here doing it. And back then, the Canon XL2 was like this big. So you got this little skinny kid holding this big ass camera and just shit like wow. It's like walking with that big ass bottle of whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? I stood out. So I was like, man, I'm not leaving until someone tells me to come back. And I remember getting in a car and saying that, like, man, I ain't leaving until someone tells me to come back. And when Anthony, I was like, film this, and then that's when I came back and was filming it, and that was my foot in the door. So Anthony Cherry led me into the door, and then that gave me the opportunity to meet Nick Cannon, and the rest was history.
Did you know, like, from a young age that this is what you wanted to do?
No, because in high school I was like a entrepreneur. I go to school wearing a suit. I would read a newspaper, and I was following after my dad's footsteps, who was a businessman, entrepreneur, real estate mogul. And I was just kind of trying to be that business person in school, but I was like, I don't know what I want to do. But my sister, she was like, yo, you should try this film school, the film class. So I was like, I try, but I'm not really like book smart like that. So I went into film class, and my teacher, Mr. Weehan, was like, I'm gonna give you an opportunity, because I was gonna leave, because I was like, it's boring. I don't like the book process. It was like, just take this camera, and I'm gonna let you do what you want to do. And he let me just freehand do whatever I wanted to do. So at lunchtime in my school, we had these riots, and there was a bunch of fights going on at lunchtime, and I would film the riots. And it was crazy, because I'd take like a Cassidy beat, add it to the riot, and then the next day I'll show the people that was fighting like the video, and I make these fast clips, and they be loving it. So I was like, yo, this is what I think I want to do, is I'm feeling the vibe with the filming and the editing process, and that was my that was how I got bit by the bug, was that. You know what I'm saying? Filming riots basically in school. Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
AV, Antelope Valley High School, AV, in Lancaster.
Oh, got you. Yeah, man, I remember it wasn't really riots going to school, in Vegas too much. Just some shit going down, but you can't really say riots.
I didn't know this, but my girl told me they called our school African Village. And that just lets you know, like, basically our school was ghetto. It was a bunch of hoodlums and wild animals running around, and that's what it was. But I took advantage of the opportunity to do.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. To just kind of be free at filming.
And people will watch that shit.
Man, I was loving it.
Riots and shit, and you say you're throwing a nice little beat on there.
Yeah, throwing a nice little beat. Yep.
Yeah, man. So come on, but everybody goes on YouTube and watches street beefs or felony fights and shit like that. So if you're watching riots, it's like, all right, the audience retention is gonna be a little higher.
Yeah, yep.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So touring with Nick Cannon 2 years, man. You met a lot of people, did a lot of things. What happened after that?
So when I met Nick, that led me into just being in the industry and just being out. And my mom was like, yo, you gotta make money. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it. It was more like a passion pursuit. I went to House of Blues on Hollywood Boulevard, and I was filming behind the scenes. I think B2K, somebody was performing, and Kuda Love was there. He had sent his driver to come talk to me, Kobe. Kobe was like, yo, what do you do? I was like, I film. Yeah, obviously I got this big ass camera. What else do I do? So he was like, cool, I'm gonna hook you up with my man's Kuda. We gonna call you. I was like, he got my contact. Called me the next day. Was like, yo, I want you to come to Beverly Hills. I want you to Kuda Love called me. He was like, I want you to come meet with me. I got this new well, it wasn't a new group, but I got the boys from B2K. They just broken up. So I was like, dope. So I met up with him at his mansion. I mean, when I pulled up to this mansion in Beverly Hills, first of all, with Nick, it was a little bit different. I never pulled up to none of his mansions. We always met at his studio. Yeah. So it was my first time pulling up to the mansion in Beverly Hills. So I was like, yo, it feels like Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah. So I'm looking at the gates, and I'm like, damn, I'm in Beverly Hills in the mansion. Pulled up, we meet in the studio. I'm seeing all these plaques, Nelly, Biggie, Mace, all these big ass plaques. I'm like, wow, I'm like really in the mix right now. And he's like sitting me down. He was like, yo, so I got the group, B2K, they just broken up. Omarion's doing his thing, but I got Raz, Fez, and Omarion. And we want to just basically document the breakup. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he brought me on, and I just filmed them. I didn't know what I was filming. I was just going out to film them every day. I'll drive from Lancaster to LA, which if people don't know, is about a 2-hour drive, about an hour and 30 minutes. Without any pay, and I'm just driving there every day, just filming them. I go back home.
That shit hit the wrong pipe.
I'm about to down the show.
I go back home and
trying to poison me.
And then I would edit it. So I would edit it on Final Cut Pro. And then the same thing I did with Nick Cannon with Wild 'N Out. I chop it up, edit it, and put it up. And I came up with a name called Life After B2K. And then that's where I would put it up on YouTube. And then what happened was it was starting to get a buzz because B2K just broken up, and this is when it was hot, like real hot. Yeah. So it got a buzz, and then word got around. They did a deal with Warner Brothers. I had a meeting with Kuda Love and Warner Brothers, and they was like, "Yo, we gonna do this reality show of what I filmed and basically make it a real production." So Warner Brothers bought it. They brought me on as a.
How did you feel? You're going up to that meeting. You've been just filming. You're not getting paid. You're having these long ass days. You're driving like a motherfucker. You don't really know what you're doing. You're just filming.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like the entire creative production was you.
Yeah.
You film it. You put it in Final Cut Pro, and you're chopping it up based on what you think is appealing, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel in this meeting?
Man, I feel like, okay, I know what I created. This is the reason why we meeting, but I was like, I just hope to be a part of it because I know how the game is. Like, they'd just be like, all right, X you out. But Kuda was like, yo, nah, he gonna be a part of it regardless. So I wasn't no big like title. I just had like just a camera operator position, but it was my first check. So when I got my first check from Warner Bros., I felt good. I was like, damn, this is how the game is. Like, you really got to climb that ladder.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Ain't nothing given. It's like you got to do what you got to do to get to where you want to go. So it was a blessing just to be a part of that whole experience, to create it and then be a part of it. And like I was in the middle of a dispute between B2K and their old ex-manager, and I was filming the content. Now this is how I got kicked out the game. I filmed something that Raz B said on camera that was not supposed to go public, and I had this content. Their old manager, Chris Stokes, knew that, and my mom's boyfriend said, I got a phone call from the industry, some cats in the industry saying, I have this content, and my life is at danger. And I was like, what? I called my Pops. I'm like, Pops, this is what's going on. I got this content, because, let me take it back. My uncle was like, yo, you should take that footage you got and sell it to TMZ. You can make a lot of money. So I was like, for real? So kind of like that little concept got around that I was going to sell this content. And then my mom's boyfriend was a bodyguard, was like, yo, your son is in danger because now some cast is looking for him, which is Chris Stokes people, and they want that content. Call my Pops. He was like, come to Vegas. Just get out the game. Come to Vegas. I'm about to open up this business. Just come out here. Me and my girl shook because it was when I got that word that my mom's boyfriend, who has nothing to do with me, got that phone call. I was like, oh, this shit is serious.
Yeah.
So I shook. I went to Vegas, and I ended up having to give up my footage to Chris Stokes people and just go back and go into this corporate industry. And that's how I got out of the game. And for 10 years straight, I was in the corporate industry.
Doing what exactly?
Hotel travels. I was selling a fucking hotel shit.
How did you feel during that decade, man?
Man, I was like a fucking, like I had an anchor on me and I was drowning. Like I wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was making money. I was making $4,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? Because anything you put me in, I'm gonna survive.
Fucking good.
I was making $4,000 a week. I had a penthouse in Lake Las Vegas. I was doing me. I was living a life because my father put me in a great position, and I know how to market and sell. So I was still making money, but I wasn't happy. So even while I was working, I was still building, like trying to figure out how to get back in the industry in a sense. But I was out of the game for a while. Then I had 2 kids, and I just had a big setback. And then, and then I was like, I got to get back in the game because this is what I love.
And then what happened after that? 10 years goes by, you're like trying to find your way back to the game.
Yeah.
Kids, I got a kid, I know how it is.
Yeah.
You got that steady money coming in, it's kind of hard to give that shit up, especially when you got a mouth to feed that ain't yours. Well, yours, but it ain't yours, you know what I'm saying? It's your baby's.
Right.
So how did you put that, making that good money away to the side and get back to chasing your dreams?
So my girl stayed in the business, and she kind of created the way to make us survive.
In Vegas?
We moved to LA. We went back to California, and then we stayed in the business. She stayed in the business, and I went back to the entertainment industry. And I had to go. I was like, yo, I'm trying to get my music video on 106 in Park. Like, I need to get back in the game. So I met up with Lyrica Anderson, Anthony Cherry, the stylist from Wild 'N Out. We always stayed in good contact. He called me back. He was like, yo, I got this artist named Lyrica Anderson. She wants a music video. I don't know who she was at the time. I filmed her music video. She had a cool little budget. And then she had a cousin named Megan Good. So I was able to build a relationship through her, film her video, get back in the game. And then I met up with her cousin. Her cousin came to be in the video, and we kind of met, and we went out to dinner. And long story short, she, that night, it was an opportunity for anyone to take full advantage, and I didn't take full advantage. I actually did Who I Am, which is just a charismatic, cool, I'm gonna take care of you as a sister, whatever. And that was what it was. And I got a phone call the next day. It was like, yo, I want you to film our video. I got a girl group from Making Good. And she was like, I love and I respect you. I want you to film our video. So I filmed their video, and that video got premiered on 106 and Park. And she gave me a big shout out. I remember she stopped Terrence J on 106 and Park. She was like, wait, hold on, I gotta stop you. Let me shout out the director real quick. And it was just, that was like, yo, man, this shit is real. Like, I need to be in this game. Like, this is my calling.
Yeah, it just goes to show that when you're a good person and you just be yourself,
yeah,
good things gonna come back to you. The world is gonna give back to those that give out. And that's dope, bro. So you get back in the industry, you set a goal, you accomplish that goal by getting on 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Then what?
From there, it was because I had 2 kids, or I had a son at the time, so it was like, I gotta be able to still survive financially, but I gotta go after this passion of filming. So what I did was I started getting into the business side of the entertainment, and I came up with this company called Skyboards. And Skyboards was my, it was the hoverboards. At the time, Owlhawk came out with the hoverboards, and they were selling for $1,300, and it was like very hard to get. I met up with one of the manufacturers who was providing it, and I got my hands onto it, and I customized it and called it Skyboards, and that became my like foot back into the doors to make money and to still deal with the entertainment industry. So
how were you selling the Skyboards?
I would customize it. So I customized a Shaquille O'Neal board with his shoe line, and then I'll put like the Reebok joint on it, make it black and white, and put his concept on the board. And then word got around to Reebok, and Reebok seen it. Then they called me and said, "Hey, we want to do a deal with you, and we want you to do this for all of our endorsements." And flew me out to New York. I had an interview on Sway in the Morning with that whole concept. And then once they seen it, then Tiger was seeing it, and he was like, I want to do the same thing. Christina Milian, Kevin Hart, the list goes on. And
so you were just making personalized hoverboards for whoever hit you
for
up.
celebrities.
So in terms of like buying your inventory, were you buying it from that
so I got it from
primary manufacturer, and then you were just upselling based on
Right.
the personalization you put on it?
I was getting it for like
Nice.
$300, selling it for like $800.
Nice, $500 on top of that. Now, how many hours were you putting in on the customization?
No,
sure
I had
it
a
varied.
team. I had a team who did incognito raps, who did my raps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I scouted
rap
out
saves
someone.
you a bunch of time.
Yeah, so they just rap it. It'll cost me about $75 to rap it, and I'll send them the board. They'll rap it, send it right back to me, and I'll put it in a box, shipped it out.
So $375, $800. You making what? $425 per board that you're sending out.
Yeah.
Damn.
And the power of the celebrity and influencers, like that's how I grew my following, was Shaq and then this female influencer named India Love. India Love was my first influencer who shouted me out with the hoverboards, and man, I'm telling you, man, the sales was crazy that night when she shouted me out.
Now, like when you got all the sales, I'm sure there was gonna like some time duration that was gonna take you to get those all out. How fast did you get all of the orders shipped out?
I created a website where you could customize your own board, and then I created. And then you could buy like a celebrity board. So we already had, I had bought inventory in pre-hand, and then we already had them like laced up with all the celebrity raps. So whatever they chose, it was already ready to go, and then we just get shipped out.
Oh man, that's one hell of a good concept, bro. It seems like you just bust ass whatever the fuck you do.
Yeah, whatever.
You just killing this shit, just straight entrepreneur chasing your dreams.
Yeah.
I'm getting this feeling from you that money ain't it. Is you're chasing your happiness, and the money's gonna come. It's easy for you to get money.
Facts. Yeah. The money. I think money is just a tool, is an object, and if you look at that, if you chase that, you're chasing the wrong thing, because once you get it, you realize this, you're not happy. And for someone like me who's so big on creation and concepts, and it has nothing to do with the money, I chase more of the creation of a concept, whatever I'm coming up with my head.
Yeah.
I make sure it matches with money. Anything I've ever done has always brought in money.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta have some type of dough. Nobody wants to be broke, right?
Nah.
All right, so you're making these hoverboards. How are you getting back to starting your first big film of Run Nixon? How did you get to that whole idea?
So along with that, my girl was still in the travel industry, and we were making a lot of money through that side. We became financially wealthy in the travel space. I created a platform called Tarzango, and that was like a online website to book hotel rooms. You can book more than 10 rooms at a time, which was like catered to like groups. There was no online platform for that. First 3 months, we did 500,000 in sales. We moved out to LA, Sherman Oaks. We got like a $2 million house, and we're living that life. I'm supposed to be there to focus on filming, but at the same time, I got to focus on the company. And it was either one or the other. And it was too much. It was too expensive. I'm talking about we had 2 Escalades, 2 Maseratis. We had it all, and it was just getting too. My son was going to private school. I mean, that was $15,000 a month.
God,
and it was just like what?
$15,000 a month.
$15,000 a month.
Wow.
He must have been learning some shit.
I mean, listen. His first birthday party. I'm talking about. We had toys I ain't never seen before. As far as the parents who came.
Yeah.
I can't remember the celebrities that came, but the celebrities that all went to this prep school was all there. But anyways, it was just one or the other, and I had to give it up. I was like, yo, we got to just call this quits, because it's like we working extra hard, but we're putting out a lot, and I'm not doing what I really want to do. And we called it quits. So I called it quits. I cut ties and just cut everything from that whole space of that travel industry and focused on the entertainment. We lost everything at that time once we did that, and it was literally one or the other. And I had to regroup. We was homeless for 2 months. We was living in a hotel. We weren't homeless, but we were living in a hotel. Yeah. Struggling, trying to figure out how to, just get by.
Because you had no revenue coming in at that point.
Just cut it all off. Yeah. It was just we were spending more than we were making.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you cut it all off, then you just back at ground zero. So cut it all off, and then my pops was like, yo, come back to Vegas and regroup. So I'm there for a cool, 3-6 months, and I'm like, yo, I got to figure something out.
Yeah.
I wake up from a dream that my uncle gives me, who passed away from heart failure, with the concept of Run Nixon. And I wake up that night thinking I need to find someone to write this script, but I just go to the computer and start writing. I write for about like 8 hours, and I go to sleep. The next morning I wake up and everything I wrote was deleted. And I was like, what?
Oh.
Like, this can't be it. Like, no. What am I going to do? And I was faced with this same situation back in high school. I used to edit, and my computer, for whatever reason, would crash and delete. And I had to ask myself, if you really want to do this, you got to re-edit, figure it out, or get out and figure something else out.
To a much smaller scale, I completely understand. I've accidentally erased a whole bunch of podcasts and shit
and
like that.
And it just goes away. And you faced with that situation. I think everybody's faced with that in life. You got to make a decision. If you really want to do it, you got to move forward no matter what, no matter what the barrier is. So I ended up going forward and rewriting the script, and writing 113 pages in about 2-3 days. And I never wrote a script before, never thought I could write a script. And that was my first version. And then from there, I had a car. Now I'm living at my dad's house. I had a BMW, and I subleased that car because I was like, yo, I got to make this movie now. I got to move it forward, right? I can't sell the script because I'm not a script writer. So my pops wasn't, he was never the type to really just just give me the money to allow me to go do it. He was like, yo, you got to figure it out.
Earn this shit.
Yeah. So I subleased my car for $4,000, which I used that money to go to LA to film the trailer. And then for a year straight, I filmed the trailer, edited the trailer, and I'm trying to raise the money off of this concept, and I couldn't raise it for a year straight. Then the pandemic hits. So I'm like, fuck, the pandemic hits. I'm like, I'm giving it all up. I'm like, at this point, I don't know what to do. And I had a dream about, like, whatever I create, I'm going to need press. So I came up with the concept for my tech company called Pressful, which is where you can get interviewed by journalists about your business or concept, and you get press. And I was working that magic, and I ended up building a whole platform for Pressful. And we end up, when we launched, we ended up making $20,000 our first month. And I was like, yo, this is it. I'm gonna become a billionaire in the tech space. And when I was doing that, I was like kind of like half in, half out, because I was like, knowing I want to get back in the film space. Because even on Pressful, as me being interviewed as a CEO, the journalist was like, when are you gonna get back to your movie Run Nixon? And I was like, in due time. I just don't know when. And but I put it on pause, Pressful, because I realized I needed more money to grow the company. So I just put it on pause, and I created this one company called IG Mass DMs. Which was a software company. And I only reason why I created this is because I had a buddy who taught me the film production game, who had a girlfriend who was in OnlyFans who needed Instagram marketing. And he knew I knew marketing. So I created the company. My first sale was his girlfriend gave me $20,000. I developed the software to do mass DMs for her. I did the mass DMs. It worked all out for her. A little bit too much because it was a little bit overwhelming for her as far as like the amount of people that was coming to her.
Yeah.
But I had a little bit of money left, and I had about like 15 grand left out of that money from everything, right? So I ended up buying a Bentley because I was like, yo, this money's getting short. I can't take an L. I bought a Bentley for about 13 grand. I was going for about 30. I negotiated down. Bought that car.
Yeah, I just seen this on your IG. You posted on your
This is
story
real
recently.
shit. This is
Yeah,
real
I was
shit.
gonna ask about it.
So I bought this car and I just put it in my man shop, Christian, who shout out to Christian, who owns Dipped Out of Works, and then I started letting him work on that for the time being. Then I run into my man's Busy B.
Man, I knew you were gonna get incorporated to this motherfucking story somehow.
So we're out here. I'm running to my man's. We at the car wash. We sit talking. I'm talking about Pressful. I think I was more on the Pressful side than the movie side, but we talk about the movie side. And then the conversation just kind of grew from there and got developed from there. And then the movie ended up becoming the main conversation out of everything because he has a background in journalism as well. But the movie, whatever, just took storm. We go on the road and we started location scout for the movie. It wasn't even about, like, he had contacts to invest into the movie, but it was more like, let's go out there and location scout. Let's act like we got the money for the movie and let's really put it together, because that was my main big issue, is that I didn't have the money for the movie. So he was like, let's location scout. So we location scout for the movie. And one of the locations that we got, which is called Pink City now, was called
yes indeed,
the old library strip club.
old library strip club on Boulder. So that club is now owned by Steve Liu. We go there, we meet with Steve Liu. Steve Liu is like, yo, Steve Liu's an open-minded investor and entrepreneur. He's like, what do we got going on? So, the movie was the reason why we were going there to location scout for the movie. Mm-hmm. And long story short, he ended up becoming one of the first investors for the movie.
Nice.
Was through Steve Liu. And then I had Kuda Love, from B2K, kind of complete the investment for the movie, who brought in Fizz, who's the main actor for the movie. And then Brian, Busy B, brought in, he invested into the movie during the production as well. But for the car ended up becoming a lifesaver because we needed money to complete the movie, which we came stuck. We were stuck during the production. So I ended up selling the car, using that money to finish the movie. And now here we are with a completed movie.
So when you're going around and you're scouting sites for a movie, like, what are things that is going in your mind? Are you negotiating with business owners? Are you negotiating with the city based on where it's at?
Man, to be honest, we were kind of utilizing his relationships, the people that he knew, for like a breakdown of what we was looking for. We went after his relationships first because we were trying to make it as feasible as possible.
Yeah. So basically, like, a lot of it, just real quickly, a lot of it, he kind of woke me up on things. He says, hey man, you got all these great relationships, man. What do you ever use them for? And for my life, I just been kind of a guy that, man, I know so many people.
Yeah.
I'm just the kind of guy that, man, I'm kind of like a dragnet. Man, I know people in the highest and the lowest of all places, man. I mean, I could go to a gas station, man. The homeless people there, they know me. He'll tell you. Yeah. They hey, I can go somewhere and walk in, and I know Shaq, and I know, big name people. And so he woke up something to me as we were doing a location scout, and he's like, man, this is what we need. And sometimes we'd be driving around, we wouldn't have an idea, and something would click. I'd be like, hey, I got somebody for that. So he and I would just kind of, turn a few corners. We would go to places, man, and that's how we acquired all the, man.
Turned the city over.
we acquired every location that we got. All 23.
We was in tents.
We've been in tent.
Late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, in tents, in abandoned warehouses. Man, people's houses, just sitting down talking to homeowners, about knocking on the door and just saying, hey, we're some film producers trying to make a movie.
We even went back to the houses and visited them a few times. They know us. The neighborhood people know us. So
the
Run Nixon movie would have not have got developed if we didn't have if Vegas didn't open up the doors, because Vegas gave us the cars that we needed. His mans gave us the Impala, which is very big in the movie. What's the name for the truck?
Henry
Hayward. Henry Hay gave us the popular pickup truck, which was used by Fizz and Cicely Cameron, who was a mom and a dad in the Run Nixon movie. What was another important car that was in the movie?
Crazy Man for Fizz's car. Curses out.
Oh yeah, for the GTO, we got the my man who sold me the Bentley gave us the what allowed us to use his car, and he didn't have no time constraints either. He just said, "Go ahead, take the car," and that car.
And this man has all kinds of classic,
old school classic muscle car.
I mean, this is a real dude with his car, man. And he basically, when Sky and I showed up, we showed up late. We actually got cursed out pretty good.
Yeah, people don't know that.
We got cursed out, man. He's like, "Tommy, you're coming, and I can't deal with this shit." So I told Sky, Sky. Sometimes he's not as word savvy as I am sometimes. So so I know how to massage people shit. When they come down a crucial situation. So man, we ended up. I said, Sky, don't worry about it. I said, I don't know, no problem. We're gonna be right back with the gas, man. We went and got that car, man. But man, everything that he's telling you, man, is in line, man, with an actual raw, real story, man. And there's so much more to it too.
Yeah, man, I feel like there's a lot of things that gets slept on when it comes to making a movie because not everybody has, this multi-million-dollar budget that you're going and making a beautiful movie with. Sometimes you got to fucking grind and make sacrifices to make your dreams come true.
Absolutely.
And I see, when you first started Run Nixon, this was, a couple years ago. Shit, 4 years ago, you're finally seeing your dream transpire in front of you, man. You put in the fucking work, you grinded, you're getting to this point, and now the movie's about to drop in a couple months. You must be feeling all types of way right now.
Man, I mean, to be honest, that's the problem with me. I can't really grasp what the feeling, even going through everything and then trying to raise the money for it. It's like I'm already on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the type of person I am is I'm supposed to be bigger than Kanye West, bigger than Jay-Z. I'm more of a $1 trillion tech entertainment entrepreneur. I'm here to develop a platform. I don't really like to use other people's platforms. And I'm here to really take over the world as far as provide a different opportunity for the world. As far as people that's in my lifetime that seen me and see what I could do, but kind of hold back and wait until I actually do something. Mm-hmm. I'm a different type of person. If you have the talent and you have the drive and you have the passion, I'm not gonna wait 5 years to open that door. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how the world has been performing. They kind of wait and put a leash on people. But with me, it's like, yo, I'm gonna create a platform and allow people to succeed at their own pace versus close the door. So it's like the world needs someone like that, someone that can drive and create a different type of platform for people to be able to open up. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's a lot of creators out there, but I mean, it's just hard to make it 'cause it's just crowded and noisy. But with someone like me, I'm able to create a platform that opens up these doors for people.
Yeah, no, I 100% feel you on that.
My whole talent. I mean, think about the whole cast with, not saying you, but just in general, just you and everybody else. I didn't go get the celebrities as everyone knows. I went to go discover the hidden gems under the rocks just to be able to allow them to shine and just show the industry yo, you don't got to go get a Denzel Washington to carry a movie. I got Jordan Lee Brown, who's a phenomenal actor who no one's never seen, who's also had his own, battle through the trenches as far as being homeless and sleeping in tents. But if you pass that by and just look at what his talent is, he's a phenomenal actor. Mm-hmm. So I was able to go as far as be under control of this production, be able to go cast my own characters in this movie and let them shine, and give them their own light.
I feel you. I'm big on letting people shine, man. That was one of the reasons why I started this podcast, because I feel like Las Vegas has so much fucking talent in the city that nobody talks about. Yeah. And then the people that do make it, Steven Jackson, Neo, shit like that, they don't talk about Vegas. They never give shine back to the city, so we don't have that platform, you know what I'm saying? So, Talk Smack with Mac, I'm trying to create that platform for the talent in the city so we could be more like San Francisco, the Bay Area, LA, Atlanta, New York, these places, these big major cities that support the people that are trying to fucking do some shit in the city.
It's amazing that most people that are born and raised Vegas, and you ask them, you talk to them, they'll say, man, I hate this place. I can't wait to leave here. Yeah, I hear that so much. And for people that's coming from where I come from, I'm from the East Coast originally, and grew up in poverty and hardship, and matriculated my way through life through self-esteem, intellect, going through all types of shit, and come here to Vegas homeless. That's a whole nother entire story, and then just find my way through to establish myself to something, be able to see what the city has to offer. And for all those people who say that about Vegas, like, oh, ain't nothing here. Well, I'm not sure what you've been looking at while you've been here, but you need to lift your head up. That's all I can say.
They got a closed mindset.
They got a closed mindset. You need to lift your head up, man. This is one of the greatest cities in America for making money, for entrepreneurs. If you're about money and making money, man, this is a great city for that.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like where I've been at. The city's been good to me, man. I'm very protective over Vegas. At this point, So I feel like I'm kind of like a native, and I've only been here for about 8 years.
Yeah, I'm one of them people that are born and raised, and I've never thought to like leave Vegas. Yeah, I became one with the water when I was in the military, and I would love to be by water, but Vegas is my home, man.
Gotcha.
Like you said, this the land of opportunity. There's so
absolutely.
much shit in the entertainment side, but in the corporate side too. You got big four accounting firms in Vegas. You got Google headquarters. You got all the major sports teams that are coming out here. There's so much shit that you need to do, and I feel like closed-minded people or small town, small city people are the ones that's saying I need to get the fuck out of here because they don't understand. They don't have that type of mind to see what the city has and take advantage.
They're just aiming low. They doing what getting the fast, easy route. Put $2 in the slot. Hit a table. Put a hole on the track. You know what I mean? Sell some fake ass drugs on the strip. Sell some real work, whichever way. But that's a lot of what it seems like. A lot of people develop that mindset, the easy way out in Vegas when they got trillions of dollars hanging above them, man. Look at two people that are not even from Vegas come out here, connect with one another, and able to go through the city of Las Vegas. Matter of fact, man, big ups to the city of Las Vegas, man. The RTC bus people, the people inside of the business office. Most people don't know here stuff that you can do in Vegas, even as far as film's concerned. You can't do Vegas will give you an open permit. You can film anywhere in Vegas. Is that correct, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Open permit. That's all you gotta do is go down there and apply for one. You can film an open permit as long as you have a crew of under 5 people, something to that effect.
Yeah, as long as you don't block the street.
You don't block the street traffic. You can film. In other cities, man, you better be prepared to sell your firstborn. You know what I'm saying? So. Vegas is so many resources here for people that if you want to be about something and do something, man, this is definitely a city you can execute it in.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Vegas.
Yeah. Shout out to Vegas.
Vegas is this place that's given us all our grounding and foundation to do anything that we want to do, man. So,
absolutely.
Shooting back over to you, Sky. You mentioned you're not a person to basically sit around and just wait. You finish Run Nixon, you say you're on to the next. When you mentioned what next was, I didn't really get it all the way until you showed me the poster of it. But you got a horror movie coming, and as you can see, I'm a fucking horror movie geek, man. Tell me a little bit about that and how that kind of transpired and came about.
Nah, my man's Sonny, Terry Williams. He wrote this script called "What Are You Afraid Of?" about he had told me about it when I was in the pursuit of making Run Nixon, and I was like, okay, cool, it sounds dope. And I was working on my other movie, but I pitched it to Cool to Love, and I was like, yo, this is a cool movie too right now to do this What Are You Afraid Of? A scary movie. I never thought I would be a fan of doing a scary movie if that would be my lane, but when I thought about it, I was like, yo, if I do something if I took Jordan Peele mixed with a little bit of Steven Spielberg, and you mix it with a little bit of John Singleton, and you combine that into one, I was like, yo, that'd be a dope ass just movie if you got those right elements.
So you want a scary ass movie that is exciting and has some good CGI special effects, but also can be relatable for people that are living a normal people.
Normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just normal people. Yeah. So his script kind of catered that. And I was like, yo, the script really caters that. So, and I'm a big fan of John Williams, who's a sound composer who did everything from Jurassic Park, Star Wars, and all the big movies. And I was like, I want that type of music. I want to make a movie where I could put that type of music in. Mm-hmm. And it has to be, it would have to be like a Christmas holiday movie. And I was looking for a blockbuster holiday movie, searching for one of those type of themes. And I was like, do I like Christmas or Halloween? I was like, shit, I like Christmas, but I like Halloween, the way it feels and how dark it is and creepy it is, and how it starts off kind of happy with the kids and the trick or treating, but then it gets dark and scary. So that script just was just hitting all the points of what I was looking for next. So we went for it, and the movie is basically about a cop who got, well, I don't want to give too much of the story, but the cop is the killer of these little teenagers who go out to this small city and get killed. So, you know, it should be pretty crazy.
So, as a director, going from Run Nixon, which is more of like a true life struggle story of trying to save their kid, what are you willing to do to save your child, right? Shooting over to a horror movie. It's gonna be blood and guts and shit. Now? Yeah. So how do you kind of like shift your mind and shift your focus from this to what's coming next?
Well, like you said, it just has to relate to it being kind of real in a sense. So I mean, I'm afraid. So the what are you afraid of concept is like, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of getting pulled over by a cop late at night, especially on a highway or a dark, empty road. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. So it just relates in a sense of like what you're afraid of. So I'm a film and direct it on a relatable sense, and it just make it scary as shit because you got these teenagers who's 4 are minority and 1 is white out there in the woods, getting chased down by this guy in a costume who's a cop.
Who's a big motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Come on, man. If you a big motherfucker and you got like some scary looking melee weapon and your face is covered, we all gonna be scared as fuck.
Everybody.
You better have your pistol on you and let loose with that bitch and hope you hit him a few times.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I know some horror movies they go over and beyond with the blood. You know, more blood the better. It doesn't even really got to be realistic. Everything hit an artery, man. We're shooting blood everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
How much blood are you bringing into this movie, or would you want to?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the four die, and they're all getting hit in a gory way.
Yes.
They're all getting hit in a gory. I'm talking about in a gory, sad way. So you know, the blood is definitely gonna be on set.
Yes, I could dig it. So as a director, I guess how are the deaths transpired? Is that more written into the script, and then you kind of put that wording to real life, to the movie? So is it kind of more like your discretion on how people die?
No, it's in the script. It's in the script. We based upon what was going on in the script, and I mean, some guys are getting hanged, some guys are going through a bone, some guys getting shot through a bow and arrow, but it's all in the script.
Nice. So as soon as you get that script, you kind of have an idea of what's about to happen, and you're supposed to get them angles and kind of tell that story and give it to the people.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it in a way where it's just like shit. See, that's my thing too. I was looking at Run Nixon. I was like, yo, I'm more of a person that likes to build suspense, and it keeps you on a like
At
every
the edge of your seat.
edge of your seat.
Almost like you
if
can't
you can
breathe,
watch
almost.
it, this is a roller coaster ride. And you just on for the ride, and that's how this movie is definitely going to be, especially with it being horror. Because Run Nixon, you definitely are on your seat. Like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen to this little boy who these guys got, you know, in the back of their seat, but you're on the edge. So it's like that times 10.
Oh man, that sounds like a badass time, man. And do you have any involvement in that film whatsoever?
Well, I mean, I've been as I serve as a Run Nixon. I'm the EP on the film, the executive producer. Basically, I just facilitate Sky to, you know, whatever we need. And I guess you could say I'm his.
You make shit happen.
Make shit happen. You
Yeah.
know,
He's my producer.
I'm a producer, so I go out and
You gotta produce the shit.
Yeah.
I produce the shit. So when we put on, you know, most of those locations that we go to, man, a lot of those been through my thing. Anything fails, you know, I have to come up with some, you know, with the parachute plan, you know, secondary plan, third planning down, you know, just like in the military, you know, you know, you plan it down to, you know, so that's kind of what my role is here. So I should be involved with the next movie as well.
Nice, man. So all right, so you got this horror movie coming up next. Run Nixon is going to be dropping. Do you have a date for that?
So with Run Nixon, we're gonna take it through the film festivals. We're gonna build a little bit more value with the movie and more credibility in the industry. Basically, when you take it through a film festival and you get nominated for whatever award gets presented, you get that credibility in the industry, and that's the goal versus just putting it on the platforms.
Okay, so you go and you get that validation from the festival, and then that'll give you more appeal to
Yeah, to
whoever
the
wants to
studios,
stream it or
producers,
put it out.
the distribution.
This
Yeah,
way, it's just like if you buying something for the middleman, you're gonna pay a little bit more. If you go right to the source,
Yeah,
get
you're
a
gonna
better price.
got you. So what's after the horror movie? Do you have any plans
Operation
after
Downfall.
that? What is Operation Downfall?
Operation Downfall is a cold one. That one's about a guy who lives in the basement, under the basement with his mom, and he acts like he works for the FBI, and he recruits these teenagers to rob banks, and he acts like he works for the FBI. So basically, he connives one girl and who has a husband and puts her husband on a no-fly zone if she doesn't go do this operation. But he finds her on a dating app, so she doesn't want to get caught up as far as like why she's on a dating app and she's married. But he puts her in a position, and she goes recruits these four other teenagers to go rob these banks. But she says it's for the FBI to pretty much prove that their security is good or not. And that's what they do. So they go rob these banks out in West Virginia, and sometimes they get away, sometimes they don't. But stories like the one I forgot the name. It's called Eagle something. But it's just a mission where you're trying to find out, like, he's a protagonist or he's the antagonist as far as like leading these guys into this mission to rob these banks, and they're believing it. But then the FBI gets involved and the cops get involved, and they're trying to figure out who's this secret guy.
This guy? Yeah.
So they're chasing him down until they get to the end and realize he really doesn't work for the FBI. He's just this smart kid who knows how the system works.
Yeah.
But he creates everything, like the whole stamp on the sheet, like everything's legit. So that's one of the next ones, Operation Downfall. Then we might come out with the Run Nixon 2.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the way this one ended, you definitely know there's a Run Nixon 2.
Yeah.
It works, yeah.
That's exciting. So when it comes to Run Nixon and it comes to the horror movie and whatever you have next, how much of the edits are you actually doing yourself?
Shit, 100%.
Oh my gosh, bro. So you're putting in fucking hours.
Yeah, hours.
Been working for the last couple months, man. Straight.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning phase, it's like, sometimes is you can hand it off and rely on that source to get it done. But the Run Nixon movie has never been where I can hand it off and allow anybody to get it done. It's always been within my own energy to make sure it gets developed and done. Even the writing side, like I couldn't hand it off to a writer. I had to write it myself. Even when it got deleted, I had to film it myself. And even losing crew members, still had to go out there and make sure it got done and utilizing my money. So, Run Nixon has definitely got me in the fucking gym. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, it's putting me through the works. I wanted to give up so many times, and I was like, yo, I got too many people that's relying on this, and this is what I really want to do, so I'm gonna fight it through.
That's what makes it so much satisfying, though, towards the end, because you know what you went through, and you know the grind and the sacrifice you had to make for this to come in fruition.
Yeah.
Man, I can honestly tell you, man, sometime, man, the difference, I think, when, man, you ever been through any fucked up situation and you just know one motherfucker that you can just go talk to and you know that he understands?
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think, man, he's been at the project, obviously having Run Nixon been his baby before I even knew him, before we ever joined together and became business partners. And sometimes, you already out of gas, but you're already ready to park the car. You know what I mean? Before before the other person comes along, man. And man, once he started to hear kind of my voice, man, and trusting me that we was gonna see this shit through, man. And I remember telling people that I met through him, I said, hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. If I got anything to do with this shit's gonna get filmed, because man, it's just a lot of people obviously always. It don't be the people that you meet going down the street, man. Be the people that be right in your circle, man, right in your face, that you've been knowing your whole life, man. Those are the people, man, that stand around, man, and watch you do an aerobics trick or an acrobatic trick, and they be, ooh, damn, he made it out of that. Jump through a ring of fire and rolled on the ground. You know what I mean? That's the same story with my life. So I recognize, some of the same things in him that in me. So I said, man, he needs that validation, that support, man, for someone to be able to tell him, man, put the crown on his head and tell him who he is and whole position, whole rank, man. Don't fold, you know what I mean? And we put things together, and man, and the universe, man, bless us with the to come up with the resources and connecting his resources, and I've learned I mean, I've done a lot of things in my life, man, but I learned a lot about this production space from working with him, man, in my first feature film as well, man. So, you know, I've gained a wealth of experience, man, and made a brother, man, within working with him.
That's nice, man. There's nothing better than meeting people that are grinding with you,
Yes,
that are
that's
driving in the
man.
same
Yes.
lane. They have the same goal, and they're willing to fight and do whatever needs to be done to accomplish the goal.
Hey, bro, honestly, we work 16-hour, 14, 16-hour days sometimes. Out in the streets, man, we be eating, pulled over in cars, parked, man, going to all kind of weird-ass places, bro. You wouldn't believe, man. Wait till, man, the footage of the B-roll of this movie is a movie. Honestly, man, I'm not kidding you, man. You would not believe, man, people, man, that just shitted on us, man, faked us out, man, false promises, man, just.
I think that's one of the biggest
shit.
thing that people got to realize in life. Like when you go out there, something that you believe in, I mean, determination has to be like one of the biggest things that you believe in. Like you believe in it more than anybody else. Because if you believe in it more than anybody else, you're going to succeed at it. And you can't really put a time on. You can't say it's going to happen today, tomorrow. As long as you just keep going on every day, it's going to eventually
That consistency
happen.
is
You know what I'm saying?
everything.
And that's the biggest thing is if you're consistent at it, it's going to happen. No matter what it is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you just got to block people out that don't believe and just say, I believe. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest things that I learned from Busy B is that it's a numbers game, but, you know, being consistent and going out there and making it happen, you know what I'm saying? You're going to create something out of just that alone.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. We literally created the opportunity from just going out, knocking on doors and making that happen and meeting people that said, yeah, they're going to make it, yeah, they're going to invest and don't invest, but not getting sidetracked or down about it, but just keep moving it forward until the right person comes. And then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get discouraged and then they'll stop at the 12th no. And then not knowing that 13 yes was right there, but they stopped. So it's like, yo, don't stop. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, man, that consistency is
in my
everything.
hood, they say don't faint in the middle of the fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep fighting. Don't faint in the middle of the fight, man.
Yeah.
So, man, that's I'm glad, man. Big ups to him too, man, for at least taking that directive, man, and you know taking my lead on that with the strength. But he's absolutely 100% certain, man, and he's right, man. You know, we just did the numbers, man, and we kept rolling, and not every day we were successful with something. Some days, man, we hit it and we lock it in, and then it's a whole nother trip to that. Once you lock it in, and people say, yeah, sometimes you go back and visit them. Guess what? Now they said
Change
no.
that mind up real quick.
Now they said no. But then but truth be told, man, and the universe knows, and there was another person waiting right there. We went right with the right
there, man.
Another person waiting right there, bro. You won't believe, man. We shot this scene with a Lil Fizz at this gas station right over on Fremont Street, where actor Bryant that you played in the SWAT team with.
Yeah, I just had him on the pod.
Man. Brian just filmed a video over at Pink City the other day too, man. He played a strip club owner, man. Big up, shout out to Brian, man. Brian Smith, my man. Anyway, man. So, right before that, we had a gas station location that we supposed to lock in, and we had this location for months. So while we're on the set, we're filming over at the family house for Run Nixon. Sky says, hey, pretty much, why don't you go over and set up the next location, set up the next site. So I'm like, okay. I go down there to the guy, calling the guy, talking to him. Guy's like, hey, man, nah, you guys can't do it. You can't do it now. And if we can, he wanted three times the amount of the money that he originally said he would do it for. Like he wanted, and then that was like a total it was
slap in the face.
It was a total slap in the face.
Yeah.
I told Sky, I said, man, I'm about to go find us a location. I'm not kidding you, bro. Do you know I drove? And I have a little townhouse right over on Fremont Street. I went and drove past a location, and things that I learned from him again, like when you start working with directors, and I know once you know the way he thinks and the way he shoots, I know kind of the look that he's looking for. You know what I mean? That's gonna fit.
You spend enough time around somebody, you're gonna know how they think.
That's what we're looking for. I'm see this gas station. I literally hop out my car and I go in this gas station. There's a gas station clerk in there, man. I can't think of his name right now, man. Man, big ups to you at the gas station right there on Fremont near Eastern, bro. You know who you are.
That 7-Eleven?
No, it's before that 7-Eleven. It's a little next to the tire shop there. So, man, I go in there, man, and just to show you kind of the stuff that we went through, man. I go in. This is the same day we got our ass screamed at and chewed at about the car. The same day. Nobody knows this shit is going on, though. This is what's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows this is going on. And so I go to the gas station, man. I go inside the gas station. There's a guy in there, man. I say, hey, listen, man, we need a location for a film, man. You know, man, this location is perfect. Man, I give them the X, Y's, and Z's. We're going to come up with the cast and crew within an hour. I go back and I tell Sky, man, we pull up, man, we shoot a whole scene in the gas station. He locks the whole gas station down, man. He signs a damn
a clerk too.
Yeah.
Just a clerk.
Well, he was the clerk.
Just the clerk.
So the owner or the manager
The manager of the place. He calls the owner, tells the owner we're gonna shoot at the spot. The owner gives him the green light. Man,
hey, you said, shout out to the clerk, because some people they can't put their big boy pants on and make fucking decisions like that.
He made an executive decision, man. He rolled with it, man. Shout out to him. But those are the kind of things that he and I had to go through.
That's what makes a good producer. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to pull. If you don't have a resource, you got to go find a resource and go make it happen. Because at the end of the day, we have to shoot. We have to film this no matter what. And especially if you got cast and crew member waiting to shoot this, you have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So he's able to just, if he don't got the resources, go figure it out and make that shit happen. So,
as a director, how do you stay balanced in your mental when you're dealing with shit like this? You just got chewed out, you don't know where you're shooting, and you got to figure it out.
Got to figure it out.
A lot of phone
calls. And then you got to perform when you're actually filming.
Man, I mean, it comes with the heritage of my legacy and my family and what's in my blood.
Keep talking your shit, bro.
My father was he was an entrepreneur. He was able to
Pop Smoke, man.
Deal with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Claude Palmer, CD. My great grandfather was a businessman in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with a lot of females and pimping was his game and I think that blood just funneled through me. I'm able to deal with a lot and not put it out as much as far as the stress, but I know exactly the steps of what we need to get done to
accomplish a goal.
To get it accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So
it doesn't matter if you're pissed off or if you're fucking happy. You know what needs to be done, and you're willing to push all that bullshit to the side and get it done.
Yeah, but you gotta have great people like him to be able to deliver stuff like
and
that.
Alleviate the stress. And go and find them spots.
But at the same time, if he can't deliver, so you gotta balance it. You gotta be able to,
take the good and the bad.
Take it and do what you can too on your side. And that was like that day. He dealt with the gas station. I dealt with the car. And we was able to, put them two together and create a PB&J. So, I think that's what, because at the end of the day, I know I'm not just a director. I'm a producer, I'm a writer, I'm an editor, or director.
This your baby.
And it's my baby.
So at the end of the day, I wasn't a producer, man. I'm part of set design, man. I'm part of we did it all, man. I'm serious, man.
I even seen you did the trailer. You did one cut of yourself, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I did one cut of myself. Sky and I did that together.
And that shit look good too.
Oh man, we did that in about 15 minutes, man.
15 minutes while we was location scouting. He was one of the prop actors, basically a stand-in to see how the scene would look.
Yeah, man, it's
see how the scene would look.
The average person don't see the the hat that you're wearing in multi positions. You're making shit happen, especially on the up and up. This ain't a fucking, a new Transformers movie or a new Fast and the Furious or nothing like this. Making something organic for the audience.
Exactly, it's for the audience, and I believe the audience needs to see a quality-based movie, and we don't take the extra steps versus someone who just got some money through the pandemic and got a camera. It's like, I'm gonna be a movie maker, and just film a bunch of shit.
You're putting a respect into it.
Like, we got to put the respect, because the way I look at anything I'm involved in, I'm gonna make it to the level of what the standards is, and then go be above that. You know what I'm saying?
Because your standard is higher than the national standard.
Right. So you're not gonna get, when you watch this Run Nixon movie, you're gonna see a great quality film, a great story, great cast member, great locations and everything, but you're gonna really just fall in love with the whole project. Now, I really want people to fall in love with the making of this story, because that's really was was the mission. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, how you got a kid from okay, so when I was in LA and I got kicked out in November and from my house during Thanksgiving, who has to move out, got 2 kids and 3 dogs and a wife, got to move out of that house and move to Vegas to my sister's house in her little son's room. You got a whole U-Haul outside and a whole family in a little bedroom, who then gets a house before Christmas, who then buys a Bentley, who then uses that Bentley as leverage, who then meets someone like Busy B, who then gets an investment for a movie, who then films the entire movie, who then uses that Bentley from the first time to invest back into the movie to finish the movie, who then puts the movie out and gets it sold.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta
There's
understand.
so
like,
many layers to this shit.
It's just a different game.
We got one
like,
step that he missed, man. We missed, and this is kind of an awkward step. Not only with shout out to Steve Lou. Steve Lou, he and I, we attract Steve Lou because we're looking for an actual location.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get there, he begins to probe us with probing questions in regards to, you know, what's going on. And so Sky has an idea where he want to go with it. And he's like, hey, you know, what do you think about what doing with this club? You know, so-and-so, so-and-so. So,
I don't want to touch base on the club.
You don't want to?
No, not at all.
Okay. No. Okay. Well, I was gonna alleviate that part of it. I wasn't gonna get deep. But anyway, man, we ended up. I think it's okay to say that part.
Yeah.
We ended up. Anybody who watches on Zeus Network, Johnson's Cabaret, season 3. We actually filmed that. Sky and I. Sky even plays a part in the role as the agent who's selling the club supposedly to Johnson and Hernandez. And we actually put on that production for them over there, man. We worked. Sky and I worked directly with their production managers over there to help give them an idea and set up the club for them. So we dealt with them every day for about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Hosting for Zeus Network at Pink City, which is now Pink City, which Sky and I actually have operational control over.
Yeah, so that's nice. That's nice. So you mentioned that you played a role in that. I seen you also played a role in Run Nixon. Did you only play the one role of the firefighter in the film?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, a couple roles he was in, I can honestly tell you, you don't know it's him, but it's him.
Yeah.
Just like when you rolled up in a SWAT van, you can't see it's me that's driving the SWAT van, but it's me.
Yeah.
You know, so
I was telling the homies.
He actually played. I can tell you another role he played when Nixon is running away freelancing on his bicycle. He's actually at a table. He's actually at a table with a monitor in his hand. Because I was across the street and actually I was hidden behind the pole, but we had to get really creative. Walked into a restaurant. Here we go again. He said, "Hey B, I'm gonna shoot over here." What do? I go right into a restaurant. I walk right in the back. I start talking to the managers. They say, "Hey,"
beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I say, "Hey, okay, come right out, man." Next thing you know, we got the waitresses involved. We got them on.
Actually,
we got them on cue.
I play Fizz too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the driver of the car when the car leaves the garage.
That's
At
right.
that garage,
he plays that. Actually, he might even seen me. I don't know if he edited it out, but the strip club too. On the strip club, patrons throwing the money.
Oh yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, the strip club patrons.
Yeah.
I play in the end with shout out to Wavy Jones.
Wavy Jones, shout out
Wavy Jones, a known
yeah.
actor, man, great artist and musician, man. He played in the Unsolved Mysteries, Notorious. He's the character in Biggie.
Okay.
He's in the movie, so he and I cameo towards the end of the movie. I think that's about the only piece I got in there, maybe, in driving the van with you guys.
Yeah,
but
hey, that was a fun day, man.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Got to play with
awesome,
some fake
man.
guns and to get out there and relive some moments from my previous life.
Here it is again. This is one of these things between he and I, man. That shot. This is the part about that synergy thing, man. That when you come from working with a guy for so long, so that shot, man, with the SWAT team, it would have looked entirely different had I not known like how he is at a person. Mm-hmm. In his mind, he was just like, "Hey, man, get the prop guns. We're gonna do an XYZ." Me knowing how he is, I said, "No, I'm gonna take this shit over the top." Man, I went out that morning, man. I made up those we got those SWAT stickers that went on the back of the vest. Mm-hmm. I went and got those elbow thingies. I wanted to make it look as real as possible.
Pads,
the glasses, the elbow pads, knee pads.
We looked official. Thank you.
But I got that inspired because he wasn't expecting it to be on that level. That was me from knowing him.
Yeah.
You know, that's just kind of how I'm like, man, now we got to bring it all the way in, man. You know, we're gonna make this shit look for real, you know. So, man, just those little small details. It
makes a difference, yeah. It makes
putting
a
that
difference.
SWAT symbol on the helmet. Shout out to Ricky Romance. He has a little T-shirt company making stickers, man. I went over his house that morning. I was there at 8 o'clock, man. We cut out shit, man, and made SWAT symbols with his. He has a whole. Ricky Romance is Raz B's brother, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so he cut out all kind of little stuff for us, man, and he actually made that come alive, man. And we took it over there to the Vest, and man, big up to Hans World Supply Place over there off of Lake Mead, I believe, man. They were very gracious in us, let us use the prop guns, man. So a lot of people in this city, man, have been good to us, man.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Is there an official release date for Run Nixon, or when it's in the festival?
So we're submitting it to Sundance and all the film festivals, ABF, which is in Florida. We're gonna submit it. We're gonna go through that angle first, and then get clearance through them, because they'll pick it up from there and then create a release date. Nice. But we are doing like a small little tour where we're gonna go to some of the actors. Shout out to Cicely Cameron, who's the mom. Stacy, she's from Oakland, so we're gonna go to like her city, premiere the movie in her city. We're gonna go to Jeff Shelley, who plays one of the sidekicks for Jordan Lee Brown. Go to his city, premiere in Houston, Texas, and Georgia, and LA, and Vegas, and let the locals know like what time it is.
Yeah, so when you guys do release in Vegas or have a premiere in Vegas, definitely hit me up, man. I love to be there.
Definitely 1,000%.
Oh shit, you in there?
Man. I gotta get my little 3 seconds of fame, man. Tell all the hoes like, you see me do that shit.
Yeah, I got a little. And he missed out on something, man. We're planning on. I don't know if we're still gonna do that, but we had contacted some universities. As well, and so you shout out to UNLV University and the University of Nevada, Reno. They actually invited us to come to their film schools and speak.
Oh man, that's dope. I go to UNLV. I graduate next month, actually.
Okay, man, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
So we're gonna do a little bit of that, man. Just trying to give back, man. Hopefully, it's an inspiration for others that they can hear our story, and so that they can realize, man, that man, this film shit get real, man. And it's something I can honestly say that, and I've had my little film work before in the past, and I've done things, but and to actually put on for a feature film, man, and actually do a production that's shot on a big level, man, with a very smaller budget, man, that's a real daunting task, man. But I wouldn't trade that shit in for the world, man. That's how you get your game up, your strength, man.
The grit and the grind. That's how you get. From
and I think that reflects in the movie too, man. To be honest with you, man, it really reflects, man, that pain, man. You'd be surprised, man, that some of the people, man, how they came to us, and man, they basically, man, performed in the capacity, man, of man just wanting to be a part of something. And I always tell Sky, man, those are the people you want, man. The people that man, they just want they want to be there. You don't want the one that is there with another agenda, man. You want the people that's willing and able. That goes back to words from my father, may he rest in peace. My father would be like, man, son, anything you do, man, this shit is the coalition of willing. You want the willing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So you don't want the unwilling, the asking, the ass-told motherfuckers. You want the willing. Yeah, let's go. You ready? Those are people you want.
You need the motherfuckers that's willing to grind and put in the work. It doesn't even matter what needs to be done. They just willing to get it done.
Right.
Yeah. So man, that's what Sky, man. He definitely was determined and willing, man. He's taught me a lot, man. And man, he man, just a short amount of time, man. Man, I've learned a lot because man, I don't think between he and I, man, he would probably answer correctly, man. Man, we've never even argued about anything ever, really. We don't agree with everything, you know what I mean? But one thing, man, me and him, we both, I think both of us, man, we probably like a half a chromosome short of like serial killers and shit. So we were told by the cast, they said, we can't tell when you two are stressed. They said that before. Someone said, you want to know why? Because me and him, we don't have like we're very emotionally intelligent. Our EQ is pretty good. So like if even we want to discuss something, he and I know how to say, wait a minute, stop. We even do it. I'll be like, we'll address that later. We know how just to like, whatever it is right there,
side,
we're gonna dead that shit and we're gonna keep moving, man. So that's what makes he and I, man, on a scale where we can work, man, because our egos are not invested in entitlement. Our egos are invested in results. and getting it done, and less about focusing on the problems. Our shit's more about solving the problems.
It's all about that. Y'all got that mental cohesion. That has an understanding for the
he's
the
real
bigger
sturdy.
picture.
I'm sturdy like that. You know? So he's sturdy. He's a sturdy dude, man.
Yeah, y'all seem like one hell of a little duo, man. That's really about to do some shit on the up and up.
He know. I know. He's there, and I'm there too, man. You know, and he's changed my whole directive, man. You know about me, the way I think and see shit. I wasn't as a visual person.
Yeah,
I'm more of a kinesthetic person. He's very visual, man. So that's why I told in the beginning. I told you my phone is fucked up. Oh well, you probably didn't catch that on camera, but I can't get any more B-roll because I don't have enough memory shit. Like it comes from fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Fuck my whole phone up. You know, so that's kind of the shit that I'm learning to be more visual in my own space. You know, I've done a lot of cool shit in my life, but guess what? I never captured it. I just would tell people about it. Yeah. You know, but now I'm learning that, man, fuck that. Put that camera there, man. You know what I mean? And capture that moment. So that's what he's taught me.
That's nice, man. I'm really excited to see your guys' future and what's going to transpire between the two of you going forward. One last question for you first and then you after before we get out of here. But as a director, is there any advice that you would give to aspiring directors or aspiring people that's trying to get into the game, videographers or whatever it may be? Do you have a word or two that you would like to give to those people?
Yeah, man. If you out there and you like, y'all really want to, you got to kind of find what it is, because you got commercials, you got reality shows, you got TV shows, music videos, and you got feature films. So if you out there and you like, I really want to get into this space, you got to kind of figure out how to get into, because commercials completely different than movies. Like if you was doing commercials, I would suggest go get products, create commercials, and then go send it out to the producers or the companies and show them, your work. If you're trying to get into movies, it's obviously go create a short, go create a trailer, and work your way up. It's really about how bad do you want to be in the space that you see yourself in, and how willing are you to get out the front door and go make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even like me, if I wasn't doing this and I wanted to get into the film space, I got 2 kids at home. You know what I'm saying? If I come across some money, or when I come across some money, or go create some money to come across to go invest into a camera, I'm gonna go film my kids, go film neighborhoods, create a story, and go put that shit on YouTube and start building content through that way, build a fan base through that way, and start getting educated with the process. So it's really more just getting creative at this day. That, I mean, you got TikTok nowadays. You can create something on TikTok and become a movie star overnight and get a fan base. And you got Instagram and YouTube. So it's not too hard as it is today versus what it is yesterday. It's more crowded. It's more crowded. That's the only problem.
But the opportunity is there.
The opportunity is there. And with it being so crowded, for my thing is, it's like, yo, don't just put out BS. Like, don't just put out something just because you got a camera. Don't just film something just to film something. Like, really take the time to edit it. Really take the time to understand what that editing looks like, as far as adding color correction, adding sound design, adding the right, sequence as far as the editing and making it flow right, and the right graphics. You know what I'm saying? Really put together a real project if you really want to do it. If you're just someone that wants to make money because you watched the interview and someone said they made $1 million off a $100,000 film, then I don't really suggest you to go down that route, because you're gonna saturate the market with bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
And make it harder for people that's really trying to fucking grind and put in that work.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yes. So it's like, if you really out here and you really feel like you that next Steven Spielberg or whoever it might be, just take pursuit into the fact that it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Even making a movie is a process. You got pre-production, production, and post-production, and that shit is not a one-day process. And I think that, like, going through that whole process of, from the music videos to the TV shows to the movies, is like it. I've been at this game since I was 16. I'm 32, so I've been at it over a decade, and I'm like, yo, I still haven't made my mark yet. I'm still, young in the game, but it didn't happen overnight, and it still hasn't happened overnight. But I'm willing to still go after this, because I know this is my lane, this is my direction.
Yeah, this is your calling.
Anybody out there that's willing to do it, just know it's not gonna happen overnight. If it does happen overnight for you, good. Just make sure you know what I'm saying, you just do what you preserve and do what you love.
Yeah, respect that. And for you, Busy Bee, what advice would you give to people that's trying to aspire to find something, find their lane. They're not quite sure what it is, but they know they're good with people or good with talking. Is there any advice that you would give them to kind of aspire them to go after their dreams, go after their loves, and go after success?
Man, I'll tell you this, man. First thing, man, is, man, being authentic and real. Man, the new 100 is fake now. Motherfuckers say they keeping it 100. That means you're keeping it fake. Shit, so you got to keep it 200, man. Stay away from the 100 fakeness, man. That's number one. It's the difference between talkers and walkers, man. Sky and I talk about that all the time. Some motherfuckers just talk all the time, man. All they do is talk, man. You get zero action, man. You got to be a person that talk and walk at the same time, man. You got to talk your shit and walk in that direction. You know what I mean? And the advice I would give people, man, is man, the difference between, man, the wealthiest man in the world. Sky probably heard me say this before. This comes from my father again. A quote. Man, he was a great businessman. Went to Pace University in New York, man, and had a degree in business. He would say, son, the difference between you and the wealthiest man in the world, man, is about 3 feet. And he'd be like articulating all your thoughts in your head and making them materialize in your fingertips. So that's what I would tell everybody, man. You have to get those thoughts out of your head, man, and find a way to articulate them to your hands to create them, to make them come. Whether that's by latching on to someone like him, not just latching on, but merging your strengths and your powers with someone like him in order to manifest your creative ability, man. That's where the word creature comes from, because we all were sent here to create. You know what I mean? And that's what this is about. Everybody shows their own individual expression. And I'm a writer, that's my natural passion, is to write. I'm a read. You heard him say earlier, and he said, I wasn't, you heard him say it clearly, he says, I wasn't very interested in books. You heard him when he said it? But guess what he was interested in? The damn camera. You know what I mean? Me, I could sit down and read a fucking novel right now and never leave your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and I could read books and study shit and do research, and so that's mine. And so together, someone that's more audio, and then someone that's more, one more visual, and a person like me that's maybe more auditory and more kinesthetic. Those types of things, man, they work, man. So I would just tell people, man, to be authentic, man. Know that there's no real difference between you and the next person. Just who wants it the motherfucking most, man.
Well, to elaborate more on that is when you look at it, I think people overcomplicate anything that they want to do.
That's a fact.
And they either make it too big or make it too impossible, and then they want to talk about it with everybody as far as their idea and their dreams and their aspirations, and it might get downplayed and it might get put to the side. And then people look at their lives on a daily basis as like, I don't have enough time to operate that concept or that idea. But it's as simple as like waking up in the morning, taking a shower, going to the kitchen, making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It's steps. You follow these simple steps of what you want. I'm hungry. Go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, get the peanut butter, get the jelly, get the bread, get the knife, and put it on. Eat. It's that simple. That's how simple it is, but it's a process to do it. And some people are not. They feel like they're not qualified, or they don't want to go through that process because they're too lazy or whatever it might be. But it's like self-doubt. If you just, that self-doubt, if you just go through the steps of whatever you want to create and take that idea out of your head and just write down the steps. Step 1 is XYZ, and step 2 is this, that, and that. And you just follow those steps and you just check it off. If you get down to the bottom, you'll get a result. And that result would be what your idea is. And I think if people just stop living in their own heads and stop giving it to someone else as far as their idea and concept, and just actually just write it down and follow step by step, they'll achieve more what they want, and just being that consistent with it, they'll get to their dreams much, faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That self-doubt that you guys kept on saying right now, you can't let that shit cloud your fucking judgment. You gotta take advantage of whatever the fuck it may be. I seen that camera when it's all good. You gotta take advantage of every day. Every day is short. We started a pod at 7, right? But at 6:45, I'm like, fuck, bro. I still have so much shit that I got to do. Yeah. And I've been going nonstop since I woke up this morning. It's a matter of taking advantage of the 24 that you got in a day. And to jump over to you, Busy Bee, I've spent like 3 or 4 days with you, bro. And not a lot of time. The majority of the time, you know how many times I heard you bring up your father? How many times you referenced him? This must have been one hell of a man.
Man, he was.
One hell of a man.
He was, man. You heard him reference his dad, too.
Yeah.
That's the difference between men that are raised by men That's the difference right there.
I ain't brought up my dad one day at a time. Listen.
It's a difference. I'm just it's highly noticeable too, man. I hate to, man. You know, man. I'm not hating on nobody. Not saying other men are not men, but if you got a dad, man, and then your dad is a mountain lion, you better believe you're a mountain lion too.
Yeah, because you're gonna be indulged in
I'm
that
telling you,
type
man,
of
that's
life.
just how that works. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I ain't hating on nobody that ain't had connect with their dad, but man, my dad was a grand goon, man, and a gangster, man. So you know, I got a lot of G in me, man, just to keep it going. And his dad named Pop Smoke for a reason. We named him that. You don't want smoke from Pop. He'll get to you. So, but man, we just got we have a lot of similarities, man, and a lot of great differences, man. I'll tell you that, man. So those are facts. Man, I didn't realize I actually meant to reference my dad that many times, but I probably do, man. You know, that's a lot of that's my foundation, man. I found a lot of strength in that, man, because you know, you gave me some solid ass facts.
Yeah,
you know, some solid, and that's another thing. When you deal with men, that's another thing. Having a father, you learn how to deal with men. That's another thing that's really key. You know, your father's the first person that's going to kind of check you on your emotions. You ain't going to buck up too hard at your dad because you're going to learn to be kind of, even if you want to, you're going to kind of have that manly respect. You're going to be kind of hesitant, show respect. Well, that's what kings do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he and I, like I said, man, me and him, you know, man, this man, we don't have no, man, we can correct the fuck out of each other or go back and forth, man. Not a whole lot of back and forth, but man, it just shows. You can tell, man, you know, I have a great liking for his father, man, and love for his dad. And he a cold piece of work too, man. But man, you could tell that he had a man that influenced his life. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, that's good shit. Well, man, it's been a good ass pod, Sky and Busy B. I truly, like, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate both of you guys coming up here, man. It means the world to me. Like, sitting down and talking to you guys, I've learned a lot from you. Just taking in so much of you talking about your experiences, and I feel like it's made me a better person. I feel like you guys are grinding to the top, man. You are willing to put in the work that is necessary to achieve your goals and dreams. And as a man, I can only respect that at the utmost level. But anytime I have somebody get on my pod for the first time, man, I sit back, I shut the hell up, and I give you guys a spotlight to let my fans know whatever the hell you got coming next, in addition to anything that we've already talked about before. If there's anything you want to add, Sky, Busy B, this your time.
Shoot, man. We're going to drop an app pretty soon for the casting, so look out for that one. Stay tapped in, SkyDirects with an S on Instagram or any other social platform, and just stay tapped in, man. I'm gonna be casting. Like I said, I'm looking for the hidden gems. So, you know, if the audience out there is watching, they feel like they the next Denzel or Halle Berry or whoever it is, come my way.
Man, fuck Denzel and Halle Berry. I'm the next Bruce Campbell, baby. I'm trying to be that B-rated motherfucking horror movie star talking that shit, and mototherfuckers are glued to the screen watching me the entire time.
Oh,
Busy B, man, what you got to say to the fans?
Oh, man, I got, man. See, the one thing in our little how we work, man. I've managed to, man. And I was just in Manhattan Beach, man, in November, man. I've got a big deal, man, with Skechers shoes coming up, man. That I presented with Sky and I, man, and we're trying to write up a pitch deck now, man. We got a big deal on the table for Skechers, man, and Sky and I are working with a tech company. We just came from today. We had a previous meeting, and we are working with a new startup tech company, Amo Fetch. It's going to be coming to Las Vegas, and Sky and I are going to have our hands on that, man. And Sky's going to be one of the founders, man, with the actual owners of it, man. So big up, man, to the Sky on that, man, and success, man. And so we're just making the plays, man, to try to, man, you know, he said something to me about a couple months ago. He said, man, I'm going to be the Kanye West of this shit. And I was like, I looked at him, I'm like, man, shit. Why not? You know, like, you know, shit.
Be that shit.
Yeah, be that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Be that shit, man. Be the Kanye West shit. I mean, I think that's I don't think there's a person in film or a director that personifies a $2 billion Kanye West. You can say what you want to say about him, but you gotta start at $1 and end up at $2 billion. That's a lot to say.
He started working at Gap, and then he's owning the motherfucker. Yeah, so yes. Be the next Kanye West. That motherfucker's a little crazy, but fuck it. Shit. Yeah. I'll be crazy to mix in that success and that personal happiness and drive and ambition. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, sure. That's about it, man.
All right, well, shit. I appreciate you guys. That sums it up for this episode of Talk Smack with Mac. Everybody that's listening, make sure you are on the lookout for Run Nixon. SkyDirects and Busy Bee put their fucking heart and soul into this movie, and it's gonna be dropping soon. And the least we could do is show a little bit of appreciation. Go watch that motherfucker. And at the very least, my bald-headed white ass is gonna be in that bitch kicking in some doors. That's a SWAT member. I appreciate it, man. We out.
We
In the
out.
building. Peace, man. Good looks, bro.